Good morning, children. Welcome to the social session. Children, for the past few days, we have been learning about the industries in India. We have seen the agro-based industries and the mineral-based industries. And in the last class, we have seen some of the most important mineral-based industries like the cement industry, automobile industry, fertilizer industry. And today, we shall learn about one of the fast-growing industry in the country, that is electronic information and technology industry. So this industry generally covers a wide range of products, the electronic industry as well as the information technology industry, both. They consist of a wide range of products like the transistors, from the transistors to the television, telephone, mobile phones, and pagers, telephone exchange equipment, radars, computers. These all are involved in the making of the electronic industry. So many other equipment relating to the telecommunications industry is also produced in the country. Bangalore has emerged as an electronic capital of India. Most of the electronic industries are located in and around the Bangalore. Bangalore is considered as a electronic capital of the country. And other important centers for the electronic goods production include like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Pune, and even Lucknow. So these are the areas where some of the electronic industries are also located. And 18 software technology parks provide single window services and high data communication facility to software experts. A major impact of this industry has been on employment generation. Up to 31st March of 2005, the IT industry has employed over 1 million persons. Up to 2005. But today, if you look at the statistics of 2020, nearly 2 to 3 million people. 2 to 3 million people are dependent upon this industry. That is software industry, or what we call it as information technology, IT industry. And this might increase to 8 to in the coming 10 years, it may increase to 8-fold. That is, in 3 to 4 years, it may increase to 8-fold. It is encouraging to know that 30% of the people employed in this sector are women. So most of the women are finding the employment opportunities in the IT sector. Previously, you have learned that in the industrial and in the services sector, it was the men who dominated, and it was only in agriculture where the women were employed mostly. But now the situation is little different. In the IT industry, especially in the electronic industry, 30% of the women are employed and remaining are the men. So this industry has been a major contributor even to the foreign exchange earner. India is one of the fast developing software development parks in the country. And apart from this, because of its fast growing industry, the business processing outsourcing, that is BPO services have spread all over the world today. The Indian BPO services are spread all over the world, and the world is looking for India towards providing of the software solutions and BPO operations. This continuing growth in the hardware and software industries is a key for the success of IT industry in the country. And in this section, we have read about the various types of major industries: iron and steel, aluminium smelting, fertilizer. So, and its a geographical distribution where they are located also we have seen, and localizing factor. However, the industries also pose the environmental threat in terms of land, water, and air pollution. Even they pose a threat. So now in the part 2, we shall learn about the government and industrial developmental plans in the early years, how the government has supported these industries for their development, and we also will learn what kind of threat it poses to the natural resources like land, water, and air through the pollution. So coming to the government policies in the early years, in India, a large number of factories were operated by the government and most others by private companies, because at the time of independence, Indian industries were not much developed. As a result, the government has decided to take up most of these industries under the public sector, and in order to develop those areas, the backward areas, they have located most of the industries in these areas which are considered as backward, and there they have established these industries. This kind of extensive existence of industries run by the government and private industrialists has emerged because of the policy decided by the Indian Parliament or Indian Constitution, where we call it as a public and private sector. public sector, that is the government run industries will be there, and private sector, the private people run industries will be there. But if you look at the countries like China, only the government run industries will be there. You take Russia, only government run industries will be there. And in contrast, you look at America, everything is run by the private people. So their economy is capitalistic economy. These people economy is called as a socialist economy. China and Russian economy is called as socialistic economy. But whereas in India, the private people operate as well as the public, the government also operates certain companies or industries. So we are called as a mixed economy. That means both will be there. Private sector will be there as well as public sector also will be present. This kind of arrangement was made keeping in view the huge amount of capital required to set up the large industries at the time of Indian independence. As we read about, for a large number of industries to come up, it is important to provide basic inputs, the infrastructural facilities, the raw materials. These heavy and bulky materials are required in order to produce iron and steel and aluminum. Hence, it was presumed that government can invest in basic goods industries, and this would also help the privately owned industries for their expansion. If iron industry and cement industry and fertilizer industry, some basic industries, if government comes forward and set up those may help in the production of other goods under the private owned industries for expansion. So basic goods industries does not only require the huge capital, but they also take long time to set up. At least 7 to 8 years it takes to set up such a big industry. And for example, for setting up a power plant, production of electricity, it would require 5 to 10 years of time, and the government had to undertake this responsibility to establish the big power industries. Similarly, the government also take the responsibility to provide the infrastructural activities like supplying of the power, building the road, and even the transportation facilities like railways and other roadways and airways, and water production to that area, and even land. So these all things has to be provided by the government. And when it comes to the power production, for example, if it is a power production, then the raw materials like coal or natural gas supplying is also required for such kind of companies. So the government has to provide all these facilities in order to establish the companies. And the government also has introduced many restrictions so that the small producers could be helped. Many industrial activities were allowed only for the small producers. For example, the production of specific quality of restricted handloom was restricted to the handlooms, and many craft productions or small scale production, small scale manufacturing units that people could do in their homes and workshops were not allowed to be produced in the factories. So such kind of restrictions were also imposed by the government in order to protect the small producer. The government also made laws to so that the large factories owners gets the prior permission or the license to set up the factories. This was done that so that they would emerge, or there would be a better planning and coordination between the people. Government was wary of one industrial unit dominating in producing the specific goods. In such a situation, it is possible that factory owners may charge a higher price from the consumers if there is a monopoly of the production. So they have taken care to have the competition in the production of the goods. The government also regulated the quantity of goods produced by the factories. For some goods, even the prices are also regulated by the government, at which they can be sold are also fixed. In the next class, we shall learn about the emerging problems in the Indian industries. Thank you, children.